Aaron Rodgers is going to be a New York Jet in 2023, 2024. He joined the Pat McAfee show today talking about showing his gratitude for Green Bay, showing his thankfulness for the Packer fans, his thankfulness for the Packer organization, and everything that the Packers have meant for him over the past couple of years. Obviously, and myself included, as a Packer fan, you really start getting weary of the antics. You start getting weary of listening to Rodgers go on and on about what he wants to do and the whole like mystery of Aaron Rodgers and what he's going to do and the cryptic messaging and the back and forth. Aaron Rodgers came on the Pat McAfee show today to kind of clear the air, to state the Packers are the holdup at this point. I have made myself clear that I want to play. I want to play for the New York Jets. And I don't want to play for the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers really highlighted the idea that going into the darkness retreat, A, he wanted to retire, and B, he was made clear by the Packers that the Packers wanted him to stay as a Packer. And when he got out, everything changed. The Packers wanted to trade him. They wanted to move on, and they were looking to go in a different direction, which was his replacement that they drafted in 2020, Jordan Love. Now, that's what Rodgers says. And right now, it's basically just a matter of time before the Packers solidify a trade to get the correct compensation package for Aaron Rodgers. They're keeping their heels in the ground for a couple first-round picks. What do we make of all this? What do we make of all this?
I mean, as a Packers fan myself, it's obviously sad to see the end of an era, and honestly, to see an organization waste such a talent, not providing the proper, players around him. Yes, you can argue, the last few years they've tried, but realistically, they haven't provided the proper surrounding cast for him to go out and win Super Bowls. There is no doubt in my mind that, Rodgers is a top 3 talent of all time. He should have won more than one Super Bowl as a Green Bay Packer.
How much of that has to do with Rodgers himself, though?
A lot of it actually has to do with Rodgers himself, too. Obviously, he's choked in the playoffs. He hasn't performed in the playoffs. Sometimes he just looks lost out there. But it is sad to see the end of an era, see so much great success for the last however many years, 10, 15 years. But I think it is time, just both from a franchise standpoint and his life. I think it's time for everyone to move on, try to start the rebuild, get Jordan Love. It's J Love money season. I think, obviously it's crazy that he's taking the exact same path as Brett Favre. Going to the Jets. Maybe he'll end up being a Viking too.
I think it's just what's crazy is you get to this point and you build up waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to hear from Rodgers and all of his antics and bullshit.
It's been so annoying. I need Mercedes Lewis. I need Randall Cobb. I need Alan Lazard. I need you to rub my feet.
You start building this resentment, right? As a as a Packer fan, you start building this frustration and annoyance and irritation and just all this. What are we doing here? What more do you want, right? And to hear Rodgers come on today and to kind of clear the air and kind of say the conversation shifted and he kind of wishes the Packers were more upfront to him about that we're looking to go in a different direction and this and that. And it's dude, the Packers have bent over backwards for you for the past couple years, man. They've bent over backwards for you. They've given you everything that you want. And it's now you're going to go on the air on the Pat McAfee show and put it on the Packers. And it's you know what? Fine. I'm ready. I'm ready for you to be gone. I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for your drama to be done. Get out of Green Bay. Go to the Jets, right? Go make a mockery out of their franchise because we're done. And honestly, with all of that, there's still that sentiment I have, but I also have thank you. Thank you for being the best quarterback in the NFL for the past decade. Thank you for bringing all of these incredible memories to Green Bay. Thank you for bringing the Super Bowl to Green Bay. And making a lot of wide receivers look really, really, really good in the process. It is the end of an era.
Greg Nelson, Greg Jennings.
Yes. Jermichael Finley.
Jermichael Finley. So many legends were created from Aaron Rodgers, and he elevated people around him, which is something Green Bay obviously will never forget. He will forever be the greatest Green Bay quarterback besides Jordan Love, obviously because Jordan Love is going to be better.
He is. He's going to be unbelievable. There is this bittersweet sentiment, though, right, Ty?
Yep,
Like,
it is. Like I do feel a little like sad inside, even though like I'm over it and I'm done, just because his ego is just driving me nuts lately. But I totally get what you're saying.
so honestly, Aaron, like, there's a part of me that's like, get the hell out of town. Like, please get out of here. But also, thank you for everything that you've done for the Packers. As a Packer fan, I will let Tyler have his moment to
Yep.
say thank you.
Overall,
For me,
lastly,
Max
I just
Hoffman,
want
thank you.
I just want to say I do think the Jets are going to be a dangerous team. Their weapons are incredible. Nathaniel Hackett is a great offensive mind. You know, they've got one of the best young, promising running backs in the league. When healthy, their offensive line is incredible. Their defense, led by Sauce Gardner, really scary. Having Garrett Wilson, one of the best young receivers. They just signed Alan Lazard. I do think they'll have a very very powerful offense. But I think we need to make a prediction of what we would receive in compensation for
Come on.
Aaron
Before we go
Rodgers.
that, before we say that, can I say one thing?
Sure.
I don't think the Jets are going to be any better than the Packers. And I'll tell you why.
That's a hot take. I don't believe that whatsoever.
I'll tell you why. Aaron Jones is better than Brees Hall.
No, he is not.
He is.
In every single statistical category, Brees Hall's better. He's faster. He's bigger. He averages more yards per carry. He's a bigger home run threat. He can catch the ball better. And he's 21.
Aaron Jones is just as good as Brees Hall. Christian Watson is just as good as Garrett Wilson. And the Packers' offensive line is better than the Jets. And on top of
I
that,
don't agree with that one either. Christian Watson
like,
is a good receiver, and I think he can be a superstar. But Garrett Wilson is the consensus number one receiver out of that class.
And then you got. Well, are you a Jets fan now?
No, I'm not a Jets fan at all. I'm just telling you the facts.
I think that Jair Alexander is just as good as Sauce Gardner too.
Last year he was. You sure about
Well,
that?
I'm just saying in general as the player.
Okay.
So anyway,
you're sounding very biased right now. We have to just state the facts, and those are the facts. Garrett Wilson won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is one of the best young promising receivers. Christian Watson's great. I love him. I think he'll be a superstar potentially. But what I want to say is I do think the Jets could be a potentially very powerful team in the NFL. And I hope to get at least 2 firsts, maybe a second.
And Elijah Moore.
Moore. I was going to say, they don't want, he's obviously disgruntled. He doesn't want to be there. The Jets benched him. The relationship isn't great. Time for a new start. Bring him to Green Bay. We already have, the Watson, the speedster on the outside, physical. We got Dobbs, the tactician, the route runner. We need a small, speedy guy. I think this could be perfect. Start that rebuild. He's young. Get him, disciplined. I think that's what I would love as a Packers fan.
If there's one thing I've learned from this whole thing, though, is, my God, are there so many false reporters out there?
Oh, my God. So many people just want to be the first.
What are we doing? People tweeted Aaron Rodgers traded to the Jets 3 days ago. It's like, come on. Anyway, that's all we got for you today. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow for more NFL content. Check out all of our other videos. But I'll also say, Aaron Rodgers, thank you for your time.
Also,
Jordan Love,
step up. Step
Let's
up,
ride.
Jordan.